Hey everyone. So I am sitting outside of City Hall on my quick break to record this video for week 3. The SEPTA strike is officially over, so that is great news for us. And it's an incredibly busy day. I may be at work late, so I figured I better record this video now and get you guys started with week 3 before it rolls into Tuesday. So I made some notes for myself, so I will be looking at those, but essentially this week is regarding describing community problems, the needs of communities, and being able to assess that in a way which will lead us into being able to create an appropriate intervention for a community. You're also going to be developing skills in community assessment this week, and then also possibly community mapping. I'm really hoping that this video isn't filled with background noise. There's protests happening across the street, and just a bunch of people. You might even see me get distracted, but I will try not to. So this week, again, we have you're going to be participating in two discussion forums this week, and there's a number of readings that'll get you prepared for how to respond to those. So essentially, let me go over some of the readings. So in regards to why it's even important to assess the local needs and resources of a community, you'll find in these in chapter 3, sections 1, 7, and 8. And essentially, sorry, one second. I actually don't even have internet out here, so I'm not going to be able to click on these links for you. This is probably not the best idea. But an assessment essentially encourages community members to consider what the strengths are of that community, how to use them, and what the needs of that community are, and then how to address those needs. It also helps you make decisions about what the priorities should be in a specific community. That's always a huge debate. So every year, the city of Philadelphia, and especially in your counties as well, have budget hearings where these decisions are made about what the priorities are for funding certain interventions and programs in order to solve particular community problems. In regards to developing a plan for those assessments that you do, it's really important to involve community members from the beginning. So that really allows you to have a roadmap for how to address not only the problems, but really the different varying opinions that are associated with the severity of a problem, whether it's an epidemic. So right now, as you may have been hearing in the news, nationally there's a heroin epidemic. It's quite prominent in Philadelphia, and it's become a priority. And it's the same, I think, in various other communities as well. So you're going to be reading about those kinds of things this week, defining and analyzing the problem, analyzing different community problems, and really how to collect the appropriate data to inform that problem and the potential solutions. In regards to community interventions, deciding where to start, and chapter 19 around choosing the appropriate community interventions, that's really in regards to, there's going to be experts in your community, whether it's health related, housing related, and you would want to engage them in deciding where to start, in addition to the members of the community that are most impacted by the problem. You could be meeting around how to reduce risk in a community, or how to around the protective factors, so how to prevent what's occurring. And depending on the resources available, what the needs are, what the strengths are, and what the priorities are, that's once you have all of that information, that's really when those decisions can start to get developed. So for your posts this week, your first post is on unmet community needs. So you're going to be identifying potential community members who you could talk to about your community's strengths and your community's needs. So I want you to think about who those people might be. And again, the readings are going to be really helpful in identifying those different stakeholders. You can definitely talk to your partner to brainstorm, but you each this week are going to be making your own separate posts. So there's several parts to that post on meeting or identifying unmet community needs. So in 1 to 2 sentences, you're going to give the name of the community and the problem area that you're hoping to address. You're going to identify 2 people that are knowledgeable about the community and that problem. And ideally, those are going to be actual people. So I want you to do some research, provide their name and their title. And the third part is develop 3 specific questions that you would want to ask those folks from the community that would help you develop some insights into what the needs are. And then finally, include the reasons why you think those persons and those questions would be critical. Include 2 references as well for that particular post. And again, consult your dyad, consult your partner, but again, you're going to have separate posts for this week. And then the second post is in regards to community assets. And so for that, you're going to be developing a list of at least 5 critical pieces of information that you would need to understand the strengths of your community. So for each piece of information or variable or data source, include the source and include the methods that you would use to get that information. So you don't, at this point, need to collect the information, but it's identifying what that source would be, where you would get it, and what the methods would be for you to get it. And then just remember that possible strengths vary from community to community. So in thinking about possible strengths, consider the following question. What pieces of information could tell you that your particular community is strong? And rely on your knowledge, from this past week of the assignment that you did, as well as the readings from the course. I don't need demographic information this time for this post. We already did that for last week. So be more specific than just demographic information, but really identify the possible indicators of strength in your selected communities. And again, consult your partner for this one too, but you each are going to have your separate posts. So just a minute on your presentations. I've watched them all once. I'm going to be watching them again. I've learned a lot about each of your communities and really appreciated the different styles that I saw, not only in the PowerPoint, but also in your delivery about the community. So now, after I'm watching them a second time, that's really when I'm going to go through the technicality of the assignment, go through the point scoring, and I'll be sending you each a detailed email, providing you with some of the strengths, some of the weaknesses, and constructive criticism for your future posts and videos as you move forward. I generally do put a lot of detail into my feedback, but it's not all graded. So, for example, if I give you a list of constructive criticism, I'm not necessarily taking points off for that. It's just for your own benefit. So just FYI on that. But so far, they were great to watch, and I think that it's evident that you put a lot of time into it. And, just in general, make sure as you guys are going along for the future assignments and for the posts to keep looking at the requirements that are posted and review your information before you post it. And, just make sure you follow the directions. So I don't want to take off for points for that. All right, I hope you guys are having a great week, and I'll post another video, I think, if needed, on overall feedback, or just to get in touch with some other business around the course. But otherwise, I look forward to seeing your initial post this week, and I'll talk to you all soon. Bye.